We are saying, we fought to liberate you. We have fought more wars than you. Wake up. These Dudulas of yours with stupid women and that do not understand the threat that they face are a danger and a threat to the national security of South Africa.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Let's get into it. At this point, South Africa is putting out fires left, right and center. Now, Rutendo stays giving South Africa homework. I think on his mind, he's always thinking about what is going on in South Africa. And he has come to the conclusion that South Africa is going to find themselves in the same situation as Israel versus Palestine very soon. We'll take a look at the sentiments around that, where it comes from. And then we are also getting the fact that Rutendo was recording from Zimbabwe, meaning that we must give credit where it's due. More people are even considering moving back to Zimbabwe. That is where we give credit to operations such as Dudula and March. Let's get further into these stories. Please give this video a thumbs up. Let's take a look at the sentiments around that, and I'll come back with the rest of the commentary.
Focus on Zimbabwe, talk about Zimbabwe, go back to Zimbabwe. I'm already in Zimbabwe. But one thing that I know is that these messages come from the least intelligent of our people who don't see some of the problems that South Africa faces. And unfortunately for you, Bafana Bami, I know that whatever happens to South Africa has got an impact on the rest of Africa and SADC in particular. And so that's why right now, at a time where the West wants to turn South Africa into the next Israel and Gaza, and when Western Cape becomes independent like Israel, they will then begin to terrorize the rest of the region when the West gives them nuclear weapons, gives them weapons to start attacking South Africa and taking more land like what they did in Gaza. And I, as an African and an African from the SADC region that liberated South Africa by fighting against the Boers, cannot keep quiet. We are saying that any attempt by the Western world to separate Western Cape from South Africa makes South Africa Gaza and Israel. We are saying we fought to liberate you. We have fought more wars than you. We understand the psyche of the enemy we are dealing with, and we understand the military threat that you currently face. Listen, or you will be in trouble.
Here's a break from propaganda. Let me give you some real news. There's currently an ethnic cleansing happening in South Africa, and it's being disguised as unemployment. 8.2 million South Africans lost their job this year, and they are unavailing these jobs to South Africans and availing them to other nationalities like other Africans, Europeans, and Americans, so that they come and take over these jobs, while they are coercing South Africans into getting jobs in other countries. This is what happens when you have a president who is a businessman who cares about corporate interests above the citizens. This is what happens when you'll have a parliament full of businessmen and businesswomen that don't care, that are not patriots, that do not care about South Africa.
Bantu bakithi, ngithi namhlanje ake ngizokhuluma nani, sike sikhulume futhi nje ngizokhuluma isiZulu. Ngenzela ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi sidingide le ndaba ngoba hayi ithanda ukuba bucayi futhi serious. Nakho sisenkingeni yokuthi kunezizwe elokho engenile la eSouth Africa zingenela khona ukuthi zifuna ukungena zisigudluze, and let that sink in ukuthi lento engishoyo ikhona ngoba siyayibona social media, siyayibona izinto ziyenzeka. Nazi indaba ziyasabalala, anihambeni mafethu nibuka ama videos o0 niphinde nilandele lesi story se Cape Independence. Nisilandele nibuka ukuthi ayibonansi imhlola isehlela. Bonke laba abantu abagcwele lapha yana ko Western Cape abasibona, most nje yabo ama illegal immigrants abasibona ngisho abala eSouth Africa baqishe lapha yana. Baqosha amakhalathi, kuqoshwa amarasta, Xhosas. Angazi ke ukuthi nizobe nithule nithini kuyenzeka leyo nto leyo, because thina ngapha kwaZulu hayi siubambile umshini, futhi thina ke vele asihlehlike mase sibona ukuthi sekushubile, asihlehli futhi mase sibona ukuthi ngathi sekukhona abasigibele emakhanda. Siyakwazi ukuthi sibhukule siphume silwe ngobani leli lizwe leli inkululeko yakhona sayithola kanzima bese kuvele kufika abantu nje befike bezothatha kanjalo izwe ekubeni as black people asikaze siwathole ngisho ama-reparations. We've never received any reparations. Awakabuyi ngisho umhlaba ini kudliwa yona lo mcebo wethu wala eSouth Africa ukuthi thina singasakwazi ukuba nesay. Yabo lento ngendlela engithinta ngayo enhlizweni ingenza ukuthi iyayiguqula kahle kahle at the same time, because we are in this mess because of this stupid leadership ekhona njengamanje okuyiyona ecekela phansi izisekelo zonke zala eNingizimu Afrika. Umbhedo wani lo ukuthi sihleli kube khona abantu abathi banamaqenjana nabo, they want to be independent, away from the government, away from the laws of this country, bafuna ukuyimela ezibona bawobani bona wasiphatha basibona even abalapha. Sivuma kanjani yona leyo nto leyo ukuthi iyenzeke? Hayi bafethu, yabona nje kuningi nje okwenzeka kule country, and futhi mangathi uyakulandela lokhu ulandelela ungagcina ugule, uhlele endlini ugule, umele inhliziyo because lento serious. And if we don't stand together silebele sihlukanisa ngamaqembu ukuthi mina ngiyini lento ayizukusebenza kanjalo, ngoba kwathiwa siqolela abantu abangakazi belifuna uqola ukuthini. And until this day we are a traumatized nation, siphila nakho samba nakho. And what makes it worse, bese phinde kufika laba bethu ke osisi bethu nobhuti bethu beqhamuka kulamanye amazwe nabo bazokwenza the very same thing. Anisicabangeli. But see, there's no time for that because everybody uphila kwi-survival mode, and umuntu ophila kwi-survival mode ave ngenalo uzwelo, akanendaba nomunye umuntu. Uzazi yena uyibeka yena phambili ukuthi ugxobe bani ukuthi afike laphayana. It doesn't even matter. Yabona into sibhekene nayo, we need to wake up because sibhekene nenkinga enkulu. We are dealing with a lot of things as South Africans. Kuningi angifuna uqamba amanga khona umthandazo sawudinga nawo, kodwa nakhona sibe sivula amehlo because yay,
if this were ever to come to life, we would be in trouble. Things that they don't talk about. And what they do is they enter people's land, take over the land, and literally they try to remove the ethnic people from that space. It's something that they've been doing everywhere. They're doing it now in Sudan. They've done it in Australia. They've done it in America. It will be a mess. These people have never entered any land and lived in harmony, regardless of how nice and receptive the natives are. They can't do it. It's not in them. So if we ever allow this, I'm telling you, the Papa Sultans, and our government is captured. We see it. And now, going to what he announced last night, that we have an economic crisis. He will and say, come save us.
So I have seen some Zimbabweans who are trying to take opportunity and go to South Africa and set up a business of immigrations and start talking about people coming to take passports to go to South Africa. There are no borders. Rawush, totally shut it out. There are no borders. Answer me. I said there are no borders. There is no negotiation when it comes to that. When it comes to that, there is no negotiation. A Zimbabwean person should be asked an identification that can identify his fingerprint in South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? An ID. If they want to stay for long, they should go and convert their IDs. There is no question about this. There is no negotiation about this. Let's be straight to each other. I know Zimbabwe, some of you who wants to be opportunist too much. There are no borders. There's no negotiation.
South Africans will learn to live with others. And they will live with others. I said they will live with others.
Where is Dudula when we need it the most? Huh? Where are they? Now Cape Town, the white people are trying to make it a country of its own. Now we need them the most to Dudula the Cape Townians who are foreigners from Europe. They are not. Why? You are Dudularing people who are not even wrong. They make noise. They help the taxis. They orchestrate wars in order to bring people to Cape Town. You as a fool there, what are you doing?
Well, there you have it. When it comes to Rutendo, he will definitely have something to say about South Africa, how South Africa does its business, and how its people are making way for white monopoly, yonke into, black, white, all of that. Forgetting that we know for a fact that all such countries have white people, have people of European descent, to put it in a better way. But not all of them are succeeding like South Africa, meaning that it's not just the presence of Europeans that make a country succeed, but it is in collaboration with the people of that country that make it a viable country, as we have seen in South Africa. There are lots of battles, but let's split up South Africans. What are your thoughts on this? Those that have a vigilant ear to focus on this, let there be another Operation Dudula that will focus on land grabbers, another one that's focusing on this, another one focusing on this, so that nothing misses us, because wow, kuningi. And to see why the issue here that Rutendo was drilling down is that South Africa will still need the rest of Africa. In all of his blackmail videos, he always makes sure that South Africa knows that they are not an island, which is true. However, it doesn't mean now that finally itwale umthwalo by fire, by force. If any country wants South Africa to carry their burden, they must request it, right? Just like our freedom fighters, when they got to new territories, they requested assistance. So it mustn't be a forced assistance. Now, when talking about the issue that is of national importance and the national security threat, rather, that is Cape Independence. There have been many calls for the leader of Cape Independence to be deported because, first of all, he's not even a South African, that they cannot run for parliamentary positions. So he's just there to garner support. He cannot go into parliament. He's just there to garner this Cape Independence traction, and using, unfortunately, a lot of vulnerable people in the Western Cape, kuningi, all facing South Africans. But those that have an eye that is able to spot the danger in the Western Cape, let them run with it. Just like Dudula spotted this danger within the townships and the local economy, they are running with that, right? So the next person might spot a gap, probably in aviation, I'm just making an example. Then that person must bring awareness to that one and run advocacy, rather campaigns against that one. We can't wait for Operation Dudula or the ANC or the EFF to run with every issue at this point to make sure that South Africa is indeed intact. What are your thoughts on this? Please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining us on this video. See you again on the next one. Bye.